Discover the AI tools your business needs to grow in 2025 in today's episode with Lillian Pierson. Welcome to Awakened Titans podcast with Lily Patrascu, mind-blowing conversations with influential business titans sharing how you can manifest abundance, love, joy, success through quantum awakening, quantum manifestation, quantum healing, quantum miracles, exponential business growth, and innovative products and services. Lillian Pierson is the author of the book, The Data and AI Imperative, and she's a celebrated growth strategist, advisor, fractional CMO for B2B tech startups, scale-ups, and consultancies that want to drive more consistent, reliable revenue growth. Now, the first question is, what are the most important AI tools to drive business growth in 2025?
Great question. So really, when I think about AI tools, I think about the categories, basically the use cases. So the categories of users and which tools are most appropriate for them. So we have like the entrepreneurs, like the $100,000, $250,000 mark. And then we've got like the founders, the people that they're already over, they're already in the 7 figures, 8 figures. And so the tools differ, the tool recommendations differ based on that category, but I would say whatever tool recommendations are relevant for the smaller, like entrepreneur level, are going to then roll up and also still be relevant for the bigger businesses. And so in terms of like, you're asking like, what are the tools? Well, there's a lot of them out there. And like one of the things I wanted to share with the audience today was just GPT, like OpenAI, GPT workflows. These are tremendously powerful. I think most people have an OpenAI subscription. And there's Surfer AI to humanize your content. There's so many different things, and also to generate humanized SEO, optimized content for your blogs. I really could go into many different options here, but what I would say is those are the kind of like marketing execution. That's the marketing execution use case. But then there's also the strategy development use case. So you could use like Perplexity, you could use ChatGPT 4.0 for doing the market research and like arguing with the LLM to like see about decision making and like really like let it kind of push your thinking on things. So these are all pretty common tools. And then there's also like really cool tools like Humanic or like pricing AI for e-commerce like Shopify entrepreneurs, where they can like really dig into machine learning based features to optimize their pricing and just drive more revenue, drive more sales, or drive more activation for their SaaS products. So there's a whole range that I'd love to dig in with you on.
Thank you. Tell us more about at least one of these AI tools that you believe is going to make the biggest difference for an entrepreneur.
I think the fundamental tools that everyone should have is OpenAI, ChatGPT 4.0. Not a huge fan of OpenAI. I've got to tell you, the politics, the business, whatever's gone on, like I'm not, all of that, into all that. But in terms of the power that you have with the custom GPT, I don't see, there's competitors, Claude, everyone is like, oh, Claude's better, maybe coming with better content. But the custom GPTs inside of OpenAI are very, very powerful. Do you know what I mean by custom GPT?
No.
Okay. So let me back up. I'm so sorry. Okay. So you get like a $20 per month subscription to OpenAI, and then you can just to ChatGPT 4.0, and then you can just use it, ask questions, say, write an email, whatever you want to do, right? But they've got a feature in there now called it's a GPT, and what it's doing is in the data world, in the AI, generative AI space, we call it retrieval augmented generation, right? And so you upload, I'm just looking at a workflow that I created. So you upload your customer personas and pain points into the GPT. You upload your unique value propositions into the GPT. You upload your content pillar strategy and your customer journey, all of that in like long PDFs into the GPT. And then you can prompt it. Then it understands your offer, your business, who you're speaking to, their problems, their pain points. And it's very easy to prompt it to create like not just, yes, marketing copy, but also like it pretty much understands your customers. So, and it doesn't cost any more than the regular subscription for OpenAI. And then there's people selling access to their GPTs like for copywriting. So I bought one of those for like LinkedIn posts, and it's amazing copywriting, actually. The guy, because he built these frameworks, you plug them in, you upload them, you create your GPT, he teaches you how, and then it writes in your voice, but the copy is a conversion copy. It's really, really good. Like almost like you hired a conversion copywriter instead of just running it on your machine.
Wow, I love that. So tell us more about other tools that can be used to help entrepreneurs to grow their business with AI.
Yeah, for sure. So personally for me, I'm a fractional CMO. I'm a marketing strategist. So having LLM-based research really help, like access to be able to retrieve information fast. That really helps me, and it gives me like, okay, more time back. So then I can serve more customers and I can serve them in a higher level. But in terms of like, okay, say you're not a marketing strategist. Well, with the smaller entrepreneurs, even the $1 million plus, I would say that like a lot of the tech founders that I've worked with, they don't have marketing strategy. So you can use LLMs to support like market research to really like 10x your development time for marketing strategies. I would say, though, very much a warning that if you don't have expertise in marketing, like if you're not a marketing expert, then you could really do yourself a huge disservice in terms of money and time by just getting, an LLM to build a strategy and doing that, because you will not see the pitfalls in it. So you really do need an expert to at least like oversee and say like, okay, that's okay, or that's not okay. And in terms of how to actually generate, like what tools for research, I really like Perplexity AI, but then also, I just stick with the GPT 4.0 because it gets it done. It gives me sources, I can check everything. So I feel like strategy development is also very important, but it really needs to go with a caveat of please, please, please bring an expert in to make sure that you're not executing on something that's going to like cost you tons of time and money.
Thank you. I've tried quite a few AIs in terms of trying to get the, like a video created out of my face or a video created out of my voice. And the results were a little bit catastrophic. So I do wonder whether there's a particular AI that you do use that can create realistic looking videos. And I'm not sure it works so much because my voice is, because I'm Romanian and I speak English with an accent. So it's quite hard for the AI to replicate my exact voice, and whether I've used the wrong AI tool. But I find that using an AI tool for video, where you just enter the text and then you have a video of you speaking previously, and then, turning that into gazillion training or educational videos for your company could be quite a useful way to grow your business or to even post.
Absolutely. That would be amazing. And yeah, so some AI startups that I've been like kind of talking to, like about coming on as their fractional CMO, they have that. They're looking like for influencers because they want to build the digital twins and all of that. So it's kind of like an up and coming space. But I would ask you, because I did some testing on my own, and I'm like on it, like just tested a teeny bit with cold outreach, and I don't do it. I don't like it. I hated it. But I tried for like a month because someone said I needed to do that. So I did. And I tried HeyGen. Have you tried HeyGen?
Yes, I have tried HeyGen.
And let me tell you, I looked at the conversion rates on that. I don't need a big scale. I don't need it doesn't need to be statistically, provable. Like people do not like those videos, because they can tell it's fake.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. What was your experience? At least maybe they don't like to be pitched. perhaps this may be like, I don't want some random stranger to like auto pitch me with a fake video and like waste my time watching this. So it didn't go over well with the 10 people I emailed it to, but maybe do you find it's useful for like creating like trainings and stuff? Will it work on that level and that capacity?
I do wonder about that. So I haven't successfully created any video that doesn't make me look handicapped. So
Oh, really?
yeah, I mean,
That's odd.
yeah. So, I mean, I was creating one for my partner, Harry, and he did look like he was not like a normal person. And also his voice, it didn't sound like him at all. And again, it could be because his voice is very hard to replicate because he speaks with a very strong accent with a lot of grammar mistakes. Maybe that's also difficult. So I wonder whether I'm just not using the right tool. Okay. Now
you tried Hey Jen, right? Because
yes.
my Hey Jen was like spot on. It totally looked like me. It was just a little bit like slow enough that you would be like, no, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Thank you. What about in terms of sales tools for using AI? Were there any that you've used successfully that have managed to lead to actual conversions?
So you're talking like, are you talking like business development tools?
No,
I have steered.
Doesn't necessarily need to be business development, more like tools that will engage with your market that is, let's say, comment, Pedro or comment author or something, comment business. And then the AI tool takes over from there and kind of takes the customer on a journey where they end up buying different products and services.
Well, I can tell you, so I have not done that myself. And just going back to the BDR thing, there's a lot of options out there, but I'm very like careful because of its reputation. And I'm not an cold outreach person. So like, I'm very much like, no, I don't think that's a good idea with it, generative AI and BDR, business development and stuff. But I would say what you're talking about really sounds a lot like what my friend Arjun has built with Humanic AI. Now, so this is for a SaaS product, but you could probably find it for like e-commerce shops as well, something similar, where he's built a layer and it's an activation layer. So the product activates customers. So you get a new user, okay? So or you get a lead. In this case, if you're a service-based business, you get a lead, right? And then you have data, say from mouse flow on your entire website and how people are interacting with your website. Say you upsell them, sell them a small packages. You get them in your $20 per month thing. You start seeing how they're using. You start collecting data on what are the pain points, and then you can start predicting. Okay, churn. Where does this person need support? Okay, so we need to send them emails. Like they're actually looking to you for this use case, and like we haven't sent them the custom targeted emails to support that use case. So it will identify that. It will develop the strategies like in cohorts, basically. So you take all of your users and like in cohorts, kind of group them by their activities, and then it's got a layer of human intervention where the CMO comes in and says, yeah, I agree with that strategy and that grouping, or I don't. And then once you agree, it goes ahead and it just drafts all of the marketing content to basically push that person one layer further in the funnel to activating, to selling, to upselling. So it produces the content they need. But then there's also another layer of like human intervention. So I think that's really impressive. And it's not only for customer acquisition, going from free trial to paid, but it's also for really boosting revenue from existing customers and also driving referrals.
Thank you. Tell us more about Perplexity or another tool that you mentioned that you find is very useful for example, SaaS companies or any other companies that are accelerating from 100K to 1 million per year.
Yeah, SaaS companies, I could tell you about, gosh, there's so many out there. Okay, so a lot of people are using the SEO. I could get a replay. The SEO, basically automated SEO workflows to generate just massive amounts of SEO optimized content for their website, and it's drawing traffic. that's happening and it's getting them leads and sales, yes, now. But I would also caution against that because I personally have been around a long time and seen a lot of how Google penalizes when you're gaming the system. And I just feel like that's a little shady and it's like seems kind of risky to me. So I would wait a few years before I actually execute that. But one of the things that I wanted to share with you that I think really helps, like fundamentally, so that's just a marketing play. What I just said, with the SEO, it's just traffic, marketing, great. But another one of my partners is he's built a product called ThriveStack, and I should look over. I'm sorry, I should be looking at the screen. I'm looking at his product. So he's built a product called ThriveStack, which basically takes your SaaS product. It automates everything in terms of onboarding and passwords, and in like a few minutes you have your product access set up. But then it also segments say you've got your free trial users that are basically self-service. And then you've got your enterprise clients that they really, they need more handholding. They need conversations because these are big deals, right? So it automatically will segment those for you and start nurturing those for you. And you don't have to build. So what companies are doing, a lot of SaaS companies are doing, they're spending like a year or more building the architecture to like do this product, to like do a self-service SaaS onboarding and all that. And like, it's a lot of work and it often breaks and you have to maintain it. But this ThriveStack is very affordable. And it built all the pieces needed. You just plug it in, plug and play. A few minutes, you're going. So that would be something that I would say, does it use AI? I'm sure, yeah, because it's making some predictions at a certain point of like when, it's making some predictions, but it's also it's using product analytics. So it's more like analytics driven and data driven rather than like generative AI driven, but I wouldn't put any, I wouldn't count that as any less valuable because it doesn't really matter so long as it's getting results.
Thank you. Tell us more about other tools entrepreneurs can use to really make a significant difference to their bottom line.
Okay, can we get just a little more, can we develop a little more clarity on like significant difference? So in what way? Like, can you give me like a benchmark of like, hey, we're at here in 6 months, we want to be here with like the actual business function and how you've improved it, because then I might be able to dig in a little better that way.
Okay, so like any company that is, let's say, doing 100K per year, they want to reach 1 million. Give us some examples of some AI tools that can be used to get there. For example, you mentioned earlier about the workflow. Maybe there are some tools for workflow. Are there any tools for, video editing, or any tools that you consider are essential for business growth?
I think that some companies who do cold outreach are having seeing that type of growth with like AI, generative AI, automated business development and outreach. But in terms of like a tool that's like, hey, I'm going to take you from $100,000 a year to $1 million a year, I would be very skeptical of any tool that promises that. So like typically with my clients, what we do, because in early stage, we really need to validate the product market fit. We need to validate the solution against the market and the need to see and build a funnel. And the funnel, like you can speed up the time it takes to build an optimized funnel. So you could do that. But then there's the other part of it is just good marketing. It's just like, okay, get the right audience, build an optimized funnel, test it with ads, make sure that it's going to scale, and then scale it. So you don't necessarily need a fancy AI tool for that, although they maybe can help make it faster. But I would be very careful with promises from some of these AI tools because it's so new. You know what I'm saying? Until we have like these big case studies. I mean, I haven't personally, my network, my friends been like, oh, I went from 100,000 to 1 million in like 6 months because of an AI tool.
Thank you. So what I was referring to is, for example, I saw in social media, there are some workflow automation tools, for example, something like Make, and I'm not familiar with it. I just saw some videos.
Yeah.
And what I saw is that, for example, it can connect multiple AI tools. And what it does is it triggers a reaction. So if this, then that kind of reaction. And I really don't know anything about it. And I was wondering whether perhaps you could shed some light on how you could use that kind of thing in order to enhance their growth and maybe get more leads, or maybe get more, I don't know, automate their process where people are scheduling more bookings into the calendar. Or I don't know what else it can do.
Yeah, that's a great point. So like, actually I was like looking away because I wanted to make a note that I need to like look at that myself again. Yes. So I have seen both a demonstration of Make newsletters from a client of mine. And then I also have seen them in action, and actually can make a recommendation for our listeners here to like check out this stream of. So Make is gonna, like, if you want to say you want to do automated newsletters, totally possible, because what it's going to do is it's going to source the web, and it's going to find the best content on the topic that you want for your newsletter. And then it's going to format it, and it's going to dump it into a newsletter format. So that is great. And I saw that done by someone who was not a marketing person. He's a tech person, because I work with tech founders. So my first, like, for me, it wasn't humanized enough. It like was not personal, it was not connected, and stuff like that. But I saw the functionality, I saw what it did. So then you look at a newsletter series like TLDR. They've got TLDR. These are newsletters with millions of subscribers. So TLDR AI, TLDR marketing, TLDR founders. There's a bunch of different TLDR newsletters. They're kind of killing it. I'm sure they're making a lot of money, and they could have probably grown that fast with this. But when you get inside of their newsletter itself, it's pretty clear to me that most of this is, that it's aggregated using something like Make. Now, I can't promise that, and please don't, like, it's not for sure. I don't know that as a fact, but based on what I've seen of what it looks like, very much that it looks like they have just used Make to bring in the best articles and then just auto-publish.
Thank you. Tell us more about any other AI tool that you have used that seems useful for entrepreneurs.
Oh gosh, it's like,
I know there's a bazillion, but let's choose one.
What tools? What tools don't, like, I've been using AI tools for over a decade. So like, okay, so one of the first things I've been doing since over a decade is listening to my own writing so that I can catch typos, right? So listen to your writing. Of course, Canva is like an obvious, like, there's so many AI features that you can do for editing your graphics and like creating videos. And then like now they're coming out with Capwing, which I'm still exploring, but like taking your videos and basically auto editing, like even easier than Descript, like auto editing the entire video, and then also cutting out the stories. And like, just because it not only paints a transcript, but it assesses it and it identifies, okay, this is a good part here. We need to cut a story. So it's like does all of it for you, and even does text to video, which seemed promising. So I'm exploring with, it's called Capwing, and it's affordable. Yeah. So these are the kind of tools that I'm looking at myself as, like, right now I'm in a kind of solopreneur mode. I was had a big team, and then I pivoted my business model with fractional CMO. And so in the place I am right now as a solopreneur, these are the kind of things that I'm looking at, and they are helpful.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential business titans, providing you with the insights to awaken to your full potential, so you can get paid to be yourself, find true happiness, and manifest anything you desire.